Hi all, in this video we are going to see how to create a stored procedure and how to handle the errors while running the stored procedure. Okay. So for this particular video, right, we have a Walmart sales database, and within this database we have a Walmart table. Now inside this table we have store, dates, weekly sales, holiday flag, temperature, fuel price, CPI and unemployment rate. Okay. Let us first look at the table first. Walmart, and let me execute this. If you can just see that in this particular table we have the prices, we have the weekly sales store wise. So for third number store we have this weekly sales for this particular date. We have this weekly sales for 17th of December 2010. So per week, so on a weekly basis we are having the sales amount for a particular store. So what we really want to do, we want to get the weekly sales for a particular store, the sum of all the weekly sales for a particular store. And this we are going to do this with the help of a store procedure, because we don't want to run the query over and over again. We don't want to write that that big line of query every now and then. We just want to call a particular function, and we need to pass the value of the store inside that, and it will automatically give us the sum of the weekly sales. So this is a simple use case. So how we are going to execute this? For that, let's first create a stored procedure for that. Okay, so let me just refresh this. Okay, and let me create a procedure. Let's say create procedure. Okay, and let's now give the name of the procedure. Let's say get all emp, and within this get all emp we need to pass in an input parameter. Okay, now the parameter is going to be the store id, right? What is going to be the store id? Now when I pass in the store id, it is going to give me the total sales for that particular store. So id val, and since this is an integer, so we need to specify this is an int data type. Okay, after this we give in begin and then an end. Okay, and above the create procedure we need to add this something called as delimiter, and then backslash, double backslash, and then after end we need to give one more double backslash, and then type in the delimiter again, space, and then semicolon. This is the format for creating a store procedure. This is like a template. Okay, and within this begin we can start typing our code. Okay, right. So how we are going to do this? Okay, how we are going to execute this? So let's declare some of the variables. Okay, we need to declare some of the variables. Okay, so in order to declare variables we use the declare command. Okay, declare, and let's say store wise weekly sales. Okay, this is a parameter, and we need to specify the type of the parameter. Let's say float, because this is actually going to be a float data type. Okay, and then after that we need to declare another variable, that is declare bool underscore flag. Okay, int default 0. Okay, so why are we doing this? Okay, because within the store procedure we also need to handle the errors. Okay, so this bool underscore flag, it will be carrying the value. If there is no error, it will be 0 by default, but if there is going to be an error, we need to set this flag variable to false, to 1, because we want to display an error message if some kind of error happens. Okay, the error that we are going to deal with is if there is any kind of data which is not found, then we are going to we are going to show this in the output that okay, for this particular id the data is not found in this table. Okay, so this is a kind of an exception handling case. Now after this, what we do, we do the exception handling. Okay, we pass and declare continue. Now continue will declare continue and then handler for. Okay, what the continue will do, it will say it is saying that if any kind of error handling happens, just simply execute whatever is within this and then just simply continue. Okay, simply continue. So declare continue handler for, and what is the type of error that we are dealing with? It is not found. If there is any data which is not found, okay, for a particular store ID, then we are simply going to execute whatever is present within this declare variable. Okay, so what are we going to do once this is declared? We are going to set the bool flag value to 1. Okay, we are going to set the bool flag value to 1, and after this we are going to write that particular query where we are going to fetch the weekly sales store wise. Okay, so how we are going to do this? If we have to get the total weekly sales store wise, we need to pass in the sum weekly sales. Okay, now this column name you will get it from here, weekly sales. Okay, and then I need to store this value into the variable which I declared over here. Okay, that is the store wise weekly sales. So the way how we will do is sum of weekly sales into, we are going to use this function into. So this will this is going to populate this particular value, the sum of the weekly sales, into this particular variable, that is store wise weekly sales. Okay, and then from which table? From the Walmart table, right? But we need to do this store wise, so we need to use a group by function because we are using an aggregation function known as sum. So group by store. Okay, on the basis of store we are done. Group by store, having the store value is equals to this particular ID value which we are going to pass in within the store procedure. So this is going to be our main query that we need to execute. Okay, and after this what will happen? So if let's say if we call this particular procedure, right, if we invoke this procedure, let's say we give the value as 3. So what will happen? It will declare this variable, it will set the bool flag to 0. Okay, if any kind of error happens, if the value is not there, right, if the value is not found, then it will set the bool flag value to 1. Okay, and then it's going to run this particular statement, right? It's going to run this, execute this particular statement, and after that if the bool flag value is 1, then we need to display that data is not found, else we will display whatever is stored inside this variable. Okay, so in order to do this, if bool flag is equals to 1, then select, okay, select the data not found. Okay, this will be our message. Let us alias this as message. Okay, else what is going to happen? We need to select the store, this one, store wise weekly sales. Okay, once we do this, we need to pass an end if. That is going to signify that yes, we have successfully ended the if else statement. Okay, and after this we need to invoke this particular procedure, so this part is done. We have created our procedure over here. Okay, now we need to invoke this procedure. So call get all emp. Okay, and let us pass the name of the ID of the store. Let's say I am passing on 3. Okay, I am passing in the value as 3. Now let us run and execute this. See, it has given us the value. Okay, now let us say if this is, let's say 12, id is as 12, it has given us the value. Okay, let us now give an id for which there is no data found, let's say 300. So it is going to show us data not found in this case, data not found. Okay. So this way we can define our store procedure. Okay, this way, this is actually the way how we handle the errors if there are data which for which this is not, it is not found. If there are other kind of there are different types of error handling also. There is your SQL exception also there. Okay, exception is also there. Okay, and instead of continue we have exit. If we don't want to continue, if we want to exit it then and there, then we can instead of continue we can type in exit. Okay, so we can just do this, just practice these kind of templates, just solve a lot of problem that involves stored procedure, and then you will get a proper understanding. So I hope you have really enjoyed this video. I hope you have learned something from here. So thank you very much, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the notification bell button to get to stay updated. Thank you.